Good morning, students. Myself, Professor Narayana Das. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic Principles of Organization on the subject Principles of Management, the course related to BPM. So, Principles of Organization. So, the work can be completed in time whenever a technique or a principles is adopted in the organization. So, the success or the failure of any organization depends upon the principles in which it has to be followed inside the organization. The principles of organizations may be termed as a tool used by the organization. Some experts, like F.W. Taylor, Henry Fayol, have given certain principles of the organizations. They are briefly discussed now. So we'll go one by one. What are the principles of organizations? Number one, principles of definition. So it is necessary to define and fix the duties and responsibilities and authority of each worker. In addition to that, organizational relationship of each worker with others should be clearly defined within the organization setup. So we need to establish a relationship between the employees inside the organization by defining the relationship among the people inside the organization who has to do what, when, and how. The second principles of organization is principles of objectives. Here, the emphasis is on the activities. The activities at all the levels of the organization structure should be shaped to achieve the main goals of the firm. The activities of the different departments or the sections may be different in nature and in the approach, depend upon the situation, depend upon the requirements. Objectives has to be established, but these should be concentrated only for achieving the main goals of the organizations. The third principles of organization is specialization or division of work. Division of work means the entire activities of an organization are suitably grouped into the departments or sections. The departments or sections may be further divided into several units so as to ensure maximum efficiency. This will help to fix up the right man to the right job to the right place and reduce the wastage of organization resources like time and finance or money. The work is to be assigned in such a way to each person according to the qualifications or experience, the skills and interest. Whoever the employee has given a specialization or assigned a task, he should be mentally and physically fit for performing the task which will be assigned to him. The next principle is coordination. Principle of coordination says that the objectives of an organization may be achieved quickly whenever there is a coordination amongst the workers. At the same time, each workers can be done effectively by having a coordination, and the final objective of all the organizations is to get smooth and effective manner. The next principle in the organization is principles of authority. Authority means what? When many persons are working together in one places, there will be a differences of power and authority. Of these persons, some will rule and others will be ruled. Normally, maximum powers are invested with the higher level of executives, like top executives of the organizations. Now, the senior member should delegate their responsibility or authority to their subordinates on the basis of their ability. So, the subordinates are motivated on timely basis through the delegation of authorities and they perform the work effectively with smooth responsibility. And the next one is Principle of responsibilities. Each person is responsible for the work completed by him. Authority is delegated from the top level to the bottom level of the organizations. But like the responsibilities can be delegated to some extent. While delegating authority, there is no need of delegation of responsibility. So the responsibility of the junior staff members should be clearly defined. The next principle in the organization is principles of uniformity. The organization should make the work distribution in such a manner that there should be equal status, equal authorities, and powers among the same line officers. It will avoid the problems of dual subordinations or conflicts in the organizational setups. Besides it, it increases the coordination among the officers. The next principle is principles of efficiency. Each worker can be completed efficiently. Each work can be completed efficiently whenever there is a climate or organizational structure facilitates the completion of work. The work should be completed with minimum members in less time with minimum resources and within the right time. Then only we can say principles of efficiency. The principle of efficiency concentrate no resources can be wasted unnecessarily. The principles of unity of command. There is also sometimes the principles of responsibility. The organization setup should be arranged in such a way that subordinate should receive the instructions or directions from higher level of authority or boss. If there is no unity of command in any organization setup, the subordinates may neglect his duties. It will result the non-completion of any work. In the absence of any unity of command, there is no guidance available to the subordinates and there is no controlling power. So the next principles of organization is principles of span of control. This is also called as the span of management or span of supervision or the level of the levels of organizations. So span of control, which refers to the maximum number of members which is effectively supervised by the individual head. The number of members may be increased or decreased depend upon the nature of work and the level of controlling capacity held by the superior. So in the administrative setup, and one executives nearly 4 to 5 subordinates per work. In the lower level or factory level under one supervision, 20 to 25 number of workers may work. The span of control which enables smooth functioning of the organizations. The next principle is principles of leadership facilitations. Principles of leadership facilitations. It is the responsibility of the organizations to facilitate the leadership quality for the forthcoming generations. The organization setup may be arranged in such a way that the leadership qualities which are appointed in key positions. The leadership qualities must be like honesty, devotion, enthusiasm and inspirations. And principles of flexibility. What is principle of flexibility? So principle of flexibility takes into consideration of organization should be flexible enough to adjust to the fast changing environment of business, because business is more risky nowadays. The organization, as you know, we are aware of COVID pandemic 19 situations. So whenever expectations unexpectedly happen certain things, we cannot able to fulfill our expectation because of external environment. So organization must be flexible enough to face the changes. The organization should avoid the complicated procedures and permit an expansion and contraction of business activities. So it should be very much flexible enough. So Principles of simplicity and homogeneity. The organization structure should be very much simple. It is necessary to understand the person who is working in the same organizations. Organization structures becomes if a complex organization structure exists, junior level people do not understand the level and extent of responsibility of a particular activity. So the simplicity of an organization structure enables staff members to maintain equality and homogeneity. If, and the next principle is principle of taking a joint decisions. In the business organization, there are the number of decisions taken by the officers to run the business on daily basis. If a complicated problem arises, more than one member examines the problems and takes the decisions. Whenever the decisions is taken jointly, the decisions gives the benefit for a long period and the decisions is based on various aspects of the organizational setup. So last but not least, principle of balancing of work among the workers. Principle of balancing of work among the workers. So this is principles. It takes into consideration of the several units functioning separately under one organization setup. The work of one unit might be commenced after the completion of work by another subunit. So it is essential the subsequent of the work should be arranged scientifically. Principles of balance. And also among the workers, we need to handle the workers with diligent care and concerns. When we apply all these principles in the organizations, it is no doubt the organizations can survive, it can grow like anything. So by concluding, you can also refer the textbooks available in the market. The author name is T. Ramaswamy, Principles of Management from Himalaya Publishing House in the 2014 extents. It can enhance your knowledge. So thanking you dear student for providing an opportunity. Thank you.